we are continuing to track this. Turned out to be a pretty big March snowstorm. A swath of Minnesota and Wisconsin dealing with several inches of that heavy snow this morning. It has been causing problems with power lines and causing some major problems out on the road. We know Metro Transit has suspended its bus service this morning.
Now we are in a next drive alert this morning as well. So we do want to get started with our Pauline Lee, who is tracking the road conditions because it has just been one crash after another all morning long.
Yeah, and I don't see things getting better anytime soon. And it's really those bridges, those overpasses, those cloverleaf ramps that we're really seeing those issues on. Case in point, this one is out in Maplewood here. So this one actually just cleared. I do see a state trooper down there, but there was a car that was just off to the side here, so it looks like this one's cleared. But take a look at the road conditions right there. It's all covered compared to the highways and the interstates, right? And that's just one example. Let's take a look at another one here and see if we can bring one up here. So this one's way up north. This one's in Lexington. This one's going northbound too. So this is 35W northbound here. Semi is stuck. This has been the issue a lot this morning as well. And let's take a look at one more here. This one in Bloomington. So this is 94 at Highway 100. As you can see, oh, actually this is in Maplewood, excuse me. So you can see two cars here. This is on a bridge and an overpass. Again, those bridges, those overpasses, those ramps, they just get slicker quicker. Less cars travel on them. So then the plows are really focusing on the main roads here. And so it just is tough going all around the metro here. So as you can see, the road conditions here, we got a mixed bag really down to the south where they got hit really hard. You have some road closures in the red. Purple is travel not advised. Up in the metro, we're seeing a lot more pinks than we are seeing blue. Pink, completely covered roads, blue, partially covered roads. And again, just a wide look at her at the metro. At least I'm seeing more yellow now. At least that's kind of an improvement, but really the number of crashes, they're in the dozens this morning. And guys, normally by now, I have an update on the number of crashes that we've seen all morning long from State Patrol. Haven't seen that yet. And I have a feeling it's because they've been dealing with a lot this morning. We know 2 State Patrol troopers got hit this morning. Thankfully, they're okay, but it's tough going out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't do it. Don't do it if you don't have to.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Pauline.
We know thousands of people have also been dealing with power outages overnight. Take a look at your screen here because, I want to say Xcel Energy continues to update this right now. That looks like they're saying a little more than 6,500 customers do not have power right now. So these are people who have been without power for several hours.
Right. And I do want to say this is a very helpful map because it oftentimes will give you estimated times of when your power might come back on, how many people in your neighborhood are affected. So again, outagemap.xcelenergy.com if you are one of those that are feeling that this morning.
And our team coverage continues now with next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows, who's live for us south of the metro in Owatonna.
Hey guys, yep, down here in Owatonna, it's hard to believe that this time yesterday, no snow, right? It looks like a winter wonderland out here now this morning. Look at this big pile of snow behind me. They plowed out this parking lot that we're in here, and all that snow has been pushed behind. And the parking lot's pretty much clear, but I've been looking at the snowfall reports throughout this morning in Owatonna, and we're coming in at about 8-9 inches of snowfall here in Owatonna. Other locations might get more, but we also have that wind factor. The meteorologist Lisa Meadows' hair factor, I guess, too. These winds, along with the snow that is still falling, by the way, down here in Owatonna, that has led to whiteout conditions. And that's why there's a blizzard warning in place for portions of southern Minnesota, why we have those closures, because whiteout conditions just can't travel on those types of roads, not to mention also the blowing and the drifting of the snowfall. And these winds throughout this morning have been coming in out of the north about 45 to even 48 miles per hour. And I do want to mention, it looks kind of tough here. We're actually a little bit sheltered. There's a big building that's behind my cameraman right now, and that's helping to shelter some of this wind. So it's really just that strong. And we've been noticing throughout this morning sustained wind 20-25 miles per hour, and then on and off those wind gusts 45 miles per hour, and that's when you really notice those whiteout conditions in place. So that is what we're dealing with here across the southern part of the state, including Owatonna, where we do have that blizzard warning that does go until the afternoon, and that's going until 3 p.m. They can expire that early if need be. Looks like we have another hour or so of precipitation as the snow continues to exit from west to east, but we'll have to wait till the winds die down, which may not even be till later. As Katie's been saying all morning, because those blizzard conditions can still continue even if there is no active snow falling, just because the way the winds do loft some of this snow in place. So we're going to be dealing with that, of course, as we go into at least this afternoon. Another reason a lot of people, I think, have heeded that warning and not been out on the roads.
I think you're right. Lisa Meadows live for us in Owatonna. Lisa, we appreciate that update. Thank you.
Now we go to next weather meteorologist Katie Steiner tracking this storm, which we're hoping comes to an end soon. What are we on, hour like 15 at this point?
Yeah, it started last night at about 6 o'clock. So I don't even know what time it is now. I'm kidding. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, so here is a look. I wanted to show you the full state so you could see Lisa down in Owatonna. They're getting a little bit more snow than we are here in the Twin Cities. And that is all going to exit, as she said, west to east. And it's going to be happening here. I would say probably stop snowing in the metro within the hour. So that's the good news. Hopefully the plows can, recuperate and get back to where they were going. But this is the snow totals that I wanted to show you. Let's zoom in a little bit. I just find this fascinating. Okay, so 3.5 inches in Anoka, compare that to almost a foot in Eagan, 10 inches in St. Paul, Somerset, Wisconsin, more than a foot, 9 in Farmington. I mean, these places are a half an hour away from each other. You drive from Plymouth to Farmington or even Plymouth to Eagan, and you're talking a huge difference in snow. And that's what we were expecting. Wherever that heavy snow band was, and you can see it in the purple there, that's where you were going to get significantly heavier snow totals. So yes, we did get 4 to 6 inches in really the greater metro area, but on the south and the east side where that heavier snow band set up, we did get closer to a foot, and that's pretty significant when it comes to shoveling that driveway. I totally understand that. But that's kind of the explanation as to why you see more snow outside your driveway than what you were expecting. So here's a look at the next 24 hours. Things will clear up, and then we'll see potentially some sunshine in the afternoon before the sun sets. But what this graphic does not show you is our wind speeds, and they will stay very strong all day long. Winds will die down tomorrow.
And we certainly saw that with Lisa out there. All right, Katie, thank you. An early morning fire broke out. This was during the middle of the snowstorm. This is in Minneapolis. Firefighters called out to the 2.5-story residential home. It was vacant at the time. This happened about 3:40. It was on the 2900 block of Grand Avenue South. Firefighters say that heavy winds and extreme conditions made that fire difficult to fight. 2 neighboring homes did have to be evacuated because the wind, they were afraid it was going to the flames would spread. Xcel Energy did have to be called in to help with power lines, which had been damaged by the fire. Fire crews were able to get the bulk of the fire out just before 6 this morning. The building partially collapsed in the rear. Neighboring homes did have some minor damage, but no injuries. Cause of the fire still under investigation.
We know crews are very busy out at MSP International trying to keep things running smoothly. According to the FAA, departing flights are being delayed by about 72 minutes this morning, and that is because of, yeah, you guessed it, the snowy and windy conditions. Also keep an eye on Metro Transit because bus service suspended this morning. Our Barrett Leone has been at bus stops throughout Uptown. Barrett, what are you seeing?
Yeah, no word yet on when those bus stops are going to resume again. We know that Metro Transit has said that they'll pick up services once things are safe, conditions are safe out here. But I do want to point you to traffic behind me. I hate to call anyone out, but hey, we need to wipe off our vehicles. It's just when we have this wind blowing, that blowing snow could fall off the back of your car and hit somebody else. So really, headlights when we're seeing some of these blowing wind, blowing snow conditions, as well as wiping off your car. It's a simple thing you can do to keep yourself and others safe. But again, Metro Transit, we're at a bus stop here on Hennepin and Lake. Metro Transit is not running. We've had a few folks stepping up to the bus stops here. Right now, it's empty, but I've had to break the news to a few folks this morning that the bus is not coming, and there's no word on when those services will pick back up. We know that Metro Transit is not the only public transportation service that is delaying services this morning. In fact, the only one that I know of that is up and running is Minnesota Valley Transit Authority. But again, since they had been delayed this morning, they are catching up on those delays now, and it's not expected to be fully caught up, at least for Valley Transit Authority, until noon today. So we're seeing impacts from this weather all across the board. Roads are slippery as well. The snow is compact. It's slippery on my winter boots. And we've also seen a number of instances as well, spinouts, cars trapped in snowbanks, things like that.
Yeah, it's
Very busy out there, Barrett.
But to your point, I mean, we saw fire crews out earlier this morning. I mean, you think about what fire crews are having to deal with in the elements right now, too.
Exactly.
Very, very
well,
dangerous.
Barrett, we thank you, and so do the people who were waiting for the bus stop when the buses are not coming.
And Barrett, 100%, you can 100% call out people. They knew. They knew this was coming. They lived in Minnesota long enough. We get it, 100%.
All right. Thank you, Barrett.